Hey, hey, hey. Okay, let's get into talking about this most recent race. Another 10K, the Peachtree Road Race. If you guys want to hear all about it, how it was very different from last year's Peachtree Road Race, stay tuned. All right, so let's get into it. So, the Peachtree Road Race is a race here in Atlanta, Georgia, done every year around the 4th of July. And it's a really big deal. It is the world's largest 10K, and that is 6.2 miles. You remember, if you watch me on my channel, the 12 people that are subscribed, you know last year was my very first 10K, and I went all out. When I tell you, I had everything but the kitchen sink. I had everything but the kitchen sink. So I went into this race understanding, April, you don't need to bring everything with you. So I literally had my outfit, my phone, which is another story. I almost left. But I cut back a lot of things, and I didn't even bring water, y'all. I didn't even bring water, which was maybe not the best decision because I was relying on the stations. The run itself was a great race. Now, the weather that day on Monday, July the 4th, was 92 degrees. In the South, Hotlanta, and 1,000% humidity. I didn't realize this because I wasn't bothered with all of that. You know, me being a semi-new runner, I was excited. The crowd was pumped. I was excited to see people. It was different from last year because last year was still a little bit like it's the first year back. We don't know if people have COVID or not. This year, everybody was just kind of out there laughing, dancing. We lined up in our different heats or groups. Last year, me and my friend, we were in the same group, so we got to, laugh, hee hee hee. And this year, we were in completely different groups. I was in M, she was in another group, another friend was in L. So I was kind of like, I was alone, and I was like, okay. So I was asking random people, can you take my picture? Can you do this? And so as we started moving up to the start line, I got really nervous. You guys, I was just like, oh, I don't know, because at the time my running was okay, but I didn't feel like I was really like making great strides. So I was like, am I gonna beat last year's time? Should that be a goal of mine? Should I really even care? And so as I was standing in line, somebody passed me by and he says, you're gonna PR today. And I was like, okay, yeah, I am. And then I really started to believe it. And I held on to that. And so at the end of the race, I did. Like by 10 seconds, but y'all was pushing it. Okay, I was pushing it because it was so hot, so humid. I didn't bring my water, so I was going over to the tables. And if you're not a runner, at the tables, there's like tons of people trying to get to the water. So I'm skipping over people, not trying to trip and stuff like that. So I think that would have been the only thing that I would have changed or adjusted, is to bring my water, my vest, because that was a bit of a little hiccup. The race was a great experience. I definitely will do it again. People talk about, they have a hill called Cardiac Hill, and it is a tough hill. In Atlanta, if you run in Atlanta, there are hills everywhere. And so Cardiac Hill is one of those hills that people talk about. But really, for me, Cardiac Hill was not the problem. It's always the two hills that's after Cardiac Hill. Like at mile 5, there's like a couple more hills. And I'm like, can you have picked another location? I know it's Peachtree and y'all have done this for a whole bunch of years. Actually, the Peachtree Road Race started in like the 1970s, and it started with just a few hundred people, and now it has turned into over, this year's race I think had about over 40,000 racers, walkers, runners, kids. I saw people that were running in firefighter gear, like full-on firefighter gear. I saw older people. Just a beautiful, beautiful race. And if you ever have the opportunity of coming and racing at the Peachtree Road Race, I definitely highly recommend it. But yeah, I PR'd. That's so amazing. Okay.